Hello. Oh my goodness, here we are. Hi, my name is Stephanie, and welcome to your PSA, your public Stephanie announcement podcast. If you follow me on Instagram, you may know that I do these short little clips of like small pieces of advice, little reminders of like self-reflection, or shared pieces of information that I've learned. And if you're interested in more than just a minute of me like throwing truth at you and want to hear me yap on things that I've learned in therapy, things I've talked about with friends over tea, or things I've read online that I've just like sat and overthought about, then welcome. You're in the right place. Let's get into it. Let's just talk about it. I oftentimes share PSAs not just because I think other people need them, but because they're reminders that I myself need. We're all humans here. We're more alike than we are different. And so that's why I share these, because I'm like, if I'm feeling this and I need this, there's at least one other person out there who also feels and needs this. Just putting that out there. And I'm not here to shout at you. I'm not here to make you feel some type of way, but maybe you need this. Just saying. All right, but this topic is something that I need right now. So this PSA is 50% for me and 50% for you. Or maybe 99% for me and 1% for you. But I'm sharing it with you. I hope you get something out of it, even if it's like 2 seconds of something. Anyway, let's talk about this. Today I'm going to talk about mindful living, listening to your body, and slowing down. So when I say that I'm the one who needs this PSA, I'll tell you why. I have been doing, being, achieving, a little bit of drowning, a little bit of stressing, totally overwhelmed. And I've been doing a lot. I've been doing the most. And in some ways, I love that. I love the things that I'm doing, and I love the direction I'm going, and I love the people I'm spending time with, and I am doing all these things that I've always wanted to be doing, and little Stephanie would be like so excited and like so proud of older Stephanie. So I want to keep that in mind. And also, I think there's a level of I'm losing a lot of mindfulness in my life because I'm going and I'm not always taking time to slow down. When I say this, I do not want to negate the going and doing and being when it feels right and good. So when we're talking about this topic, the first thing I said was mindful living. And I want to start this whole thing by defining what mindfulness means, or what my definition of mindfulness is. Because I think mindfulness is just this little lingo that floats out in the universe and we hear it. It's kind of like the word sustainability or self-care or whatever. They like float around and they're kind of meaningless because they're overexposed on the internet. And here I am like going and talking about it, but that's neither here nor there. So I want to talk about what I think mindfulness is. And I think sometimes mindfulness is something that we think about as meditation or self-care or yoga or whatever. And full disclosure, I do teach yoga. And so I talk about mindfulness all the time. And that's where a lot of this stems from. And the other area of that like comes up is therapy. And also full disclosure, I go to therapy. So like, but you know. So I want to talk about what is my version of mindfulness. So to me, mindfulness is the ability to be present in your current experience. That is like just the straight up one line pithy version of what is mindfulness. I don't know what Merriam-Webster says, and maybe I should have looked that up in preparation for this, and you can go do that if you want. Maybe I'll like give you a little insert here. This is what Merriam-Webster says. However, my version of mindfulness is the ability to be present in your current experience. What does that mean? What does it mean to be present in your current experience? Well, let me tell you. Some tools and skills and exercises that I use. I'm going to use yoga, for example. is when I ask students to sink into their space and begin to be mindful, is when I say things like begin to notice your breath in your body, or do a body scan. Start from the top of your head all the way down to your toes and notice if there's areas of your body that you are noticing are in pain or discomfort, or notice areas of your body that feel really relaxed and calm or open, or what fill in the blank adjective of whatever is coming up for you. And that ability to sit there and notice it is being present, and that's being mindful. Now, being mindful is recognizing it and seeing it and hearing it, and it's that level of self-awareness. And then you get to choose what to do with that. We don't have to be mindful 100% of the time. I'm just going to put that out there. That's not the point of this, and I'm not telling you that you need to be, because I sure as heck am not mindful 100% of the time. And I think that would actually be absolutely exhausting to be mindful 100% of the time, where you're just so present and you're not thinking about the past, you're not thinking about the future, you're not learning from the past, you're not planning for the future, you're not, reflecting on things, because I think there's a time and place for all of those things. And there's a time and place for being present, being right where you are. So I am not saying do this 100% of the time. I'm just saying there's space for this, because if we're not creating space for this, how can we appreciate where we are? How can we care for ourselves to the deepest degree? How can we enjoy the moment we're in with the people we're spending time with, or fill in the blank thing? How can we be right here and not let life just slip away from us? So there's space for both being present where we are at, noticing what's coming up and being self-aware, and there's also space for us to not overanalyze everything we're doing. So 2 things we can think about this with. I'm going to give you a really tangible example. Something that we all do is we brush our teeth. So there's one version of this that is being mindful. Mindfully brushing your teeth, let me just break this down, is the acknowledgement and noticing, the awareness of your toothbrush running over the fronts of the teeth. The bottoms, the sides, the backs, the insides, the outsides, the tops. You're hitting all the areas, and you're consciously aware that you're doing that with your brushing of your teeth. That's a mindful version of doing it. And then the less mindful version of it is you're thinking about what you just did throughout the day. You're thinking about what you have to do tomorrow and later this week. And you're on autopilot, and you're just going for it, and you might hit all the spaces in your mouth, and you might not, and that's the experience that you have. So that's 2 versions of being mindful and not being mindful. Do you still brush your teeth and have the same result? At the end of the day, yeah, there is relatively the same result. You have a cleaner mouth. One just happens to be a little bit more thorough and a little bit more connected to the self. And I'm not saying one's better than the other. You might have a belief about what's better than the other, and that's for you to dissect. That's your information to hold and gather and go somewhere with. But I'm just putting that out there for a tangible experience. And maybe you try that, just brushing your teeth and being really present with it, and then allowing yourself to just disassociate and brush your teeth in that way. And I use that word very lightly, disassociate, because I know that can have different types of meaning. So that's just breaking down what the heck is mindfulness, and what do I mean when I'm saying mindful living. I mean being present in your current experience, having self-awareness, and allowing yourself to tune in. So the title of this video is about listening to your body and slowing down. So you need mindfulness in order to listen to your body. Your body will speak to you. It will tell you what it needs. And when I say this, I mean it tells you when you need water, it tells you when you need food, it tells you when you need sleep, it tells you when you're injured, it tells you all of these things. Your body will whisper to you before it begins to shout. And if you are being mindful consistently enough, you will begin to listen to the whispers and hear the whispers before your body even has time to shout. I mean, if you hear the whispers and do nothing about it, then your body will still shout at you, but that's a whole nother topic. What I'm saying is, with consistent practice of recognizing cues in your own body, you will be able to hear the whispering before the shouting happens. So this is what that looks like. Shouting in your body looks like pain, looks like injury, looks like sickness. Whispering is tenseness in the muscles. Whispering is a dull headache. Maybe that's even in the middle of whisper and shouting. Maybe that's a headache might be talking. Whispering is discomfort in the feet or the joints or the hands or whatever you're using. Whispering is fatigue from a long day or long social interactions. Whispering is a gentle grumble of the stomach. Shouting is all those things revved up. It is the pain, it is the injury, it is the migraine, it is the sickness because you're so run down. It is your body is just beginning to shut down, or you're literally starved, or you're losing weight, or whatever. That is the shouting. And we have a chance to intercept before the shouting happens. And the only way that I see this happening is when you pause and you begin to be mindful in order to listen to the whispers. So how can you do this? It takes a lot of practice, and I still am practicing this because I still get headaches and migraines, and we're all going to do this. We don't have to do this perfectly. Let me put that out there. You do not need to be perfect in this. Okay? I'm saying that for myself, also for you. The more you begin to tune in to, I'm sitting at my desk at work and I feel emotionally some stress coming up. Let me pause. Oh my gosh, my shoulders are up here. Let me relax my shoulders. Let me relax through my neck and the base of my skull. Let me allow my jaw to release, my teeth to part. And if I'm able to catch it then, that helps me not have tension headaches and migraines and back pain and whatever that creates for you, however you hold your stress. For me, that's how I hold my stress. But when I'm able to catch it then, it doesn't get to the shouting of the migraine and the rundownness of being stressed. So this is where I'm saying that the consistent checking in with yourself and being mindful in your current experience, noticing what's happening, how your body's reacting, how it's responding to different stimuli and situations, allows you to better care for yourself in whatever way you need to care for yourself, because that's going to look different from person to person to person. So I can't tell you how to care for yourself. That's for you to hold and have and learn. This is just information that you gather from your body, and then how you choose to take and utilize that information is up to you. So we talked about what is mindfulness. We talked about how do we even listen to our body, and why are we talking about how do we listen to our body? Well, I'm saying this because let's tune in to our body is beginning to tell us something, okay? And maybe our body is saying, I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed, I'm whatever. Some of that might be because we're doing too much, or we're doing too much of things that don't fill us up. And this is something that I think our society has built us up to be, is hyper productive, hyper social, hyper achieve, hyper be, go, do more, be more, whatever, grow, all of this. And I'm not saying that stuff is not good. We need that. We need to be growing and being and achieving and becoming our truest selves, absolutely. I want us all to do that within our own rails and boundaries. If doing and being and achieving is coming at the cost or the expense of your well-being, your mental well-being, your physical well-being, all of that, maybe that's where you check in. I'm going to say something to you and it might feel like I'm shouting at you. I'm not going to physically shout, but I'm saying this, I might be emotionally shouting at you. There are no awards for being the busiest person in the room. You don't win any awards for it. You don't win awards for being the busiest person. And if being the busiest person is what you're striving for yourself, because it's going towards goals and achievements and things that you want for you, continue being that. However, if you being the busiest person is about seeking validation, admiration, respect, and attention from others, maybe check in, because that's not how you gain it. You don't gain those things by being busy and taking on all of these tasks and responsibilities and doing all of these things. So maybe it's about slowing down in order to notice, what do you really want? How do you really feel? What's the direction you want to go? All of these things. Because sometimes slowing down is how you speed up. You slow down on the things that are not adding value to your life or working towards your goal, which allows you to speed up and pick up momentum in the areas that feel good, right, and aligned with you. So you can slow down to speed up. And that's one of my goals for this year, actually, is like learning these areas where I can slow down, take more time, take stuff off my plate so that I can speed up and pick up momentum, create some urgency in the areas that fill my soul up. And for me, that's creative endeavors. So I want to slow down on other things in order to pick up this momentum for all of my creativity that is just like bubbling inside of me. But if I continue to put energy towards things that don't fuel me, I will never be able to put my full potential over here in these like creative things. But if I never take time to pause, to slow down, and to mindfully assess where I'm at, I can't do that. I don't know what that is for you. I don't know where you land in all of that. I don't know if that resonates. I want to leave you with this. I encourage you to take time, maybe just once a day, or if that feels too overwhelming, one time this week. Do a scan of your body. If you're sitting down, if you're walking, if you're lying down, wherever, however. Maybe close your eyes if that feels safe and available and good for you. And begin to just notice how your body feels, starting from the top of your head if that feels all right, scanning down through the head, the face, the neck, all the way into the arms and all of your limbs, down through the torso, your chest, your heart space, your back, the belly, down into the hips. We hold so much tension in the hips, so much emotion there. Down through your legs, into the feet, the toes, every part of you. Can you scan through your body? Become aware that all of these parts of you exist and notice how you feel. It could take 60 seconds of your time as a little mindfulness practice, and that can gather information for you, and how you choose to use that information is up to you. But maybe just try that out. See how you feel. See if you feel more connected with yourself. See if you're able to connect with where you feel you can slow down and where you feel you can pick up some speed. Can you listen? Can you take the time to listen? Know that you are so loved, you are whole, and you are enough, just as you are.